Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another Wheelassassin video. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you part 4 of Hawkins Lab's interior. Now, today we're going to be building the lobby area, the lab, and of course the tank room upstairs. This tutorial is extremely long, so if you do need to watch it in parts, feel free to do so, guys, and of course feel free to pause at any point throughout the tutorial. Without further ado, let's get building. Alright then, guys, so we're going to come to the right side of the build if you're looking at the front, and go to these exterior looking steps. Now we're going to change these up a level, so just bring the kind of end stone steps up a level. Then we're going to go ahead and grab some smooth stone and literally just build this entire flooring in now. We want to fill up this entire space to make the lobby area, of course, complete. We definitely need to make this all on the same level so that it doesn't look odd, but obviously include it to the exterior of the build there as well. So let's just mark out our space where we're going to fill this in. And then feel free to pause the video whilst you guys go ahead and put the rest of the flooring in. I'm going to speed up the video just so you don't have to see me doing it over here. So fill in that entire space just there. Epic. So now we have these sort of areas done. We can go ahead and add in our stairs. For that I'm using stone bricks and stone stairs because these look really good. And of course some iron bars as well for the railings. So I'm going to go down 2 layers and then I'm going to build the sort of step in between, where you can kind of step to take a breath or whatever, and then we'll stick some iron bars just there as a railing, one there, one there, one there, and one there. Then the steps we're going to cut into, probably cut into the block back there in a second. I was going to like double stack the iron bars, but I didn't think it would look that great, so instead we're just going to do like one for each block. There we go, that is one flight of stairs, that looks really good. Now we're going to do the exact same over here. So 2 there, a block with an iron bar on top. Let's obviously make sure the blocks connect up as well. That's definitely important. So let's make this little platform area. We're going to do the iron bars just afterwards. So that's the part where the iron bars will be. There we go. Cut into this to make the stair. And then obviously put your last flight of stairs on the bottom. Now I'm not sure what happened here. I think I made a little mistake. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I did it like one block too close. My bad, guys. There we are. Alright, cool. So there we go. So then we just want to connect it up to the floor now by adding in one more flight down at the bottom. And there we have it. That looks really cool. Both flights done. We're just going to go ahead and fill in the underside of the stairs now to make these look like they're actually built and they're kind of supporting up the second floor as well. So just go ahead and fill underneath these stairs, make sure they look complete around the edges. Not that anyone's going to see the back of these, but it's always good to fill these up anyway. Nice. So our next step is to kind of build walls around these 2 staircases. So I'm using a quartz pillar just on the left side of this railing over here, and on the right side of the staircase as well. These are going to go straight up to the roof, but at the moment I'm going to leave these kind of at a strange level. I don't know if I complete these or I just like leave it for a second. Light grey alongside the stairs there. We're going to do like alongside the quartz. Here I was just trying to mark everything out, but it is going to be light grey just up to that quartz there. And it's going to go right up to the ceiling as well. Don't worry if the railings connect to the block. It does actually look pretty cool when it's like complete, but at the moment I know it does look a little bit strange. So let's get this light grey right to the roof, or at least a block under the roof, and then quartz it over. This quartz helps us to determine where each sort of sub-module of the build is, so you can build these in sections. And then we'll add some light grey concrete just to the left of this quartz pillar over here as well, with of course the quartz on top. Now another quartz pillar just to separate the second floor. And we are going to need to remove a railing in a second as well. So the 3rd block up, we're going to put, well, on the 4th block we're going to stick a quartz block, just like so for now, just to mark out where we're going to put like a window for maybe the stairway to be completed. Let's just go ahead and fill in this section over here. Let's just add 1 light grey pillar, going right up to the 2nd block below the roof. Amazing. Now you can stick another quartz pillar over here, just in line with this kind of stairwell, and then we're probably going to replace this one with a quartz pillar as well. There we are, that looks much better. We can take a little bit of a gap there as well. Let's fill that in with, so that's on the 5th one, guys. Let's fill that in with some glass just so we can look down the stairwell, and it gives a little bit more light to the place. White stained glass looks really good. You can also stick it below the quartz there, that looks really cool as well. Let's do it on this one too. So let's move this up a block, quartz there, and then that is nice. That is looking really good. Alrighty, so we're going to do the exact same thing over here. This is good, these are nice and symmetrical. Otherwise, you know, it gets a little bit confusing if they are just random. So of course the quartz is going to be on the same level as the stairs and the railing. Break through this one to place our one light grey pillar. Bring our quartz along to the roof, and we don't need to connect it up this side. That is the only weird thing, because we've got the sort of hospital beds and things, the rooms over that way, we don't need a pillar to connect up on that side. So that's the only place that it changes up, but it doesn't look too bad. So a pillar there, just where the railing is, and then of course we're going to bring some blocks down so we can actually have this door frame. So glass in there, on the 4th block, then some quartz, and then some more glass just in there. Amazing. Now another quartz pillar besides this block of concrete, and then we're going to go ahead and fill these up to the roof as well, or just below the roof if they're light grey concrete. Okay, so as you guys see, I did make a little mistake. There we go. Replace that over. Nice one. Let me know how you guys change up the design of Hawkins. If you like it the way it is, then that's awesome. I'm really glad you guys like it. But if you want to change it up to however you like, definitely let me know what you change about it in the comments down below. I'd love to hear you guys' opinions on the build. So there we go. Just fill that doorway in, exactly the same as the other one. That's on the 5th block again. Then of course our light grey 2nd block below the roof, and then quartz it over for the roof. Let's go ahead and fill this in, and then both our stairwells are completed. Definitely one of the hardest tasks to build because they are so similar, but also this left one is a little bit different. There is a little gap there in the railing, but don't worry, no one will really notice that, to be honest. Plus it's not really too much of a bigger deal at the moment. You guys could always put like a secret sort of base in there as well if you wanted. I don't know what you guys want to add, but maybe you could do something cool with that little gap there. So we're going to leave a 3-block gap space for the door frame for the lab downstairs, but we're going to need to make these blocks go right above to the roof. I'm going to do the backwards kind of the 3-dimensional walls here, like we did for the corridor in part 3. So let's just stick some lights down so we can see what we're doing. There we go. So it kind of like 3D up this way, but we're also going to double stack the quartz on the roof there just to make it look cool. And we'll double stack these quartz pillars as well in a second. So door frame just there with glass, only leaving a 2-block gap for the doors. Let's extend these pillars right up and extend them right out for kind of the pillars on this side. There we go. That looks really cool. Definitely helps the design a little bit. And then obviously light grey and that little gap there. And then of course some sea lanterns, obviously 2 stacked for this side and the opposite side as well. And just fill them in over this way. I did forget to add some of the iron trapdoors there, so if you guys wanted to add them as well, definitely feel free to do so. That was my mistake not adding them. So we're going to go ahead and move these pillars around. Now this is the last kind of step in part 3, kind of the second part to the 2nd floor, the first part to the 2nd floor even. And yeah, we definitely don't want to have these pillars in this exact same spot. We're going to move them just to where the light grey is, so in line with the light grey just there for the corridor. Alrighty, let's go ahead and add the lights in for the stairwells. So for that I'm going to literally put like a cluster of sea lanterns in the roof, and then leave an exterior line out so we can just line it up with some light grey concrete as well. I need to grab that back. Let's go ahead and get that back quick. I should have just pick blocked it, to be honest, but I didn't even think. Where are you? There you are. Cool. Alright. So yeah, going around the outskirts of these sea lanterns just help to make the build look a little bit more complete. And now there's some light in the stairwells as well, which is great. Let's do the exact same over here. So the outline first, and then of course the sea lanterns just to add in afterwards over here. So only a cluster, 2 lines of 4 basically. Wicked. This is starting to come along very nicely. Let's pop down to the lab. So the lab, we're going to need some We're actually not going to put stairs in there. We're going to keep this the same level because we need to obviously make the floor over the top. So that was my bad, making a little staircase there. It's definitely not what we want. So all this space down here is going to be left empty. So if you guys wanted to change this up and make massive labs, you totally could do that as well. It would look really, really cool. So we're going to we're going to double stack the entrance over here, add quartz pillars on each 4 corners, and then fill in the rest with light grey concrete. So marking up with that granite there, the smooth granite, or is that andesite? I cannot remember, but we're going to line it up with that block just there, which is downstairs in one of the rooms downstairs. I think it's the interrogation room. I'm going to make sure this lines up nice and well. Quartz on either end. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. You can't see it from the inside of the lab, but I think it adds a little bit more detail if you were looking, you know, to add other rooms outside of this lab. So we've almost finished this, which is good. Fill in this last wall over here, and then we're going to add in the floor. Let's get rid of those stairs and add in our floor of smooth stone. So all the way in this lab now. Just go ahead and stack that door up so we don't have an empty space. There we go. Fill in this whole section with our smooth stone, and then we're ready to go on to the next step. So skipping the video on a bit slightly, we have the entire floor now filled in, which is great. So here I'm just going to add, kind of double stack the iron bars up on either side of this door frame, just to add a little bit more detail. Here we're going to change up the front stairs that we made earlier, just with some stone bricks instead, because I think it looks better. It matches up with the stairwells in the building as well. I don't know why I used end stone. I think it's because I used it on the exterior. I thought it would be good for this one, but we're going to change it up to stone bricks for this. And it fits with the smooth stone as well, which looks good. And then of course railings on all of those blocks there. Amazing. A little finishing touch for the lobby area. We could also add some plant pots, maybe on each of those, kind of finishing off the railing with a plant pot with some cacti in, which would look good. I can never find the cactus. I'm gonna be honest. I always struggle. I need to like grab it first and then go from there. So flower pots, cacti, and then of course your oak leaves. There we go. Just double stacked as well. It looks always good. Very modern as well. Nice. That is looking lovely. Alrighty. So some more detail. We're going to add in a little desk over here. This is going to go in line with that quartz block back there on the stairwell. It's going to turn around as it gets to the light grey concrete, and it's going to go 2 blocks away from the exterior of the well, either side of the desk, like so. So curved background. There should be left with you should be left with a 3-block gap in between, and that you can stick a chair in. So now on the right side, as if you were coming up the stairs from the exterior, we're going to go ahead and place some light grey concrete up until the block before the hedge there. Then we're going to bring this right back and a block away from the railing, and these blocks are going to go up by 6 with a light grey concrete, and then we're going to bring the 7th block with our quartz. We're going to bring this along the lobby stairs and bring it up to this wall over here, which unfortunately is not the same dimensions as the opposite one, because this kind of module of Hawkins is a little bit uneven. It still looks pretty cool though once it's done, so that's good. Nice one. So we can go ahead and bring this around now. There we go, connect that up, that looks good. Add in our quartz pillar just there, and then the rest of the wall. This little cove area is going to be for vending machines, but if you guys have any better ideas to how to fill this, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear you guys' opinions and ideas. So quartz it up and put a quartz pillar in there. Quartz pillar over this side as well, and then of course our wall of light grey over here. All the way up until you reach that 6th block, and then you can go ahead and put the 7th over with your quartz. Almost there now. There we go. Just replace these ones. Amazing. So this is where it gets tricky, guys, because we're going to need to do the lighting for the lobby. Let's remove this little pillar for now, just because we use that as a marker. Let's go ahead and line it up with the other one. Nice one. Now we have 2 little sections where we're going to light it up. Taking our sea lanterns, let's go just kind of a block in line with the exterior sort of smooth stone pillar, and bringing this all the way along for 2. Then we're going to go ahead and fill it in with alternating between the materials, and then light grey on the edges. Nice, that looks pretty cool. Definitely adds a little bit more of light to this place. Let's go ahead and add another layer of wall there. Again, alternating between the two materials, your light grey concrete and your quartz. There we go. Quartz over this bit. And now we can go ahead and add in the lights for this area. So I'm going to bring the lights just around like an L shape, just up until we reach that quartz block. Now that is 1 block away, and that's really annoying. Just because this thing is not even, it is very frustrating to build lights in here. So we're going to need to do it in a weird way. So add your lights in for a second, just up until you reach that quartz pillar, and over this way we'll leave that one off as well. Alright, let's go ahead and bring our quartz back to that lamp just there. And we're actually going to change this one up over here where the vending machines are going to go. This does not look cool, and it's very hard to sort of decorate. So I'm going to go ahead and just add in a strip like that, and then double stack my concrete and then fill it over, doing a weird sort of staired pattern like that, like an upside down pyramid going in. Then we can go ahead and add in our vending machines, which is always very fun. So red stained glass, normal glass. I don't know why I grabbed red stained glass, we don't really need that, but if you wanted to grab that instead, it's pretty cool. We're going to need red wool even, and some red carpet. So we do like an L shape with our wool, and then 2 glass just either side of that, and then our carpet on top. Now we need to grab some buttons and an item frame, possibly if you wanted to add the little door where the drinks come out. So let's grab some buttons. Stone buttons work well. 3 up the side, or even just 2. Knock off that bottom one, and then a little item frame wherever you want. But that looks pretty good. Nice, we'll just leave that like that. That's pretty good, simple detail. Alright, so over here we're going to do kind of the same thing. Not the same thing, what am I saying? We're going to do like the hazmat suits even. So we're going to need gold armor for this, representing our hazmat suits. I'm going to grab some birch doors. I'm also going to grab myself some birch wood. I think I grabbed some birch stairs or planks, some slabs even in a bit, but I'm not certain. So doors there, kind of leaving little locker rooms basically. You should be left with 3 locker rooms just like this. So bring our wood like that, bring our wood like that just over the top, and then fill that up. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves some. I did grab yellow concrete powder and yellow concrete, but we're going to swap the concrete powder for black concrete, so definitely keep that in mind. Planks over the top of that hazmat sign, and then we're actually going to add another layer of the hazmat tape at the top there as well. So armor stands in these little locker rooms. Let's add the wall in between each one. It's going to be a 3-stack wall just so it reaches the roof. I think I accidentally put the planks in that guy's hand just then, so I'm going to need to replace that armor stand real quick. There we go. So we're going to put the armor on this guy. Once we put them all into sort of the standing position, looks like a soldier a little bit. There we go. And to do that, guys, if you're on PS4 or Xbox, just click down your one of your joysticks, your right joystick, and you'll be able to get that option up to change it up. Basically, so you're doing a shift click on it. Oh, let's make sure this door goes this way. So put the hinges on that one instead. There we go. Nice. And then obviously get your grey and just fill that back in. Wicked. Alright, so let's go ahead and swap out the concrete powder for some black wool. Black concrete even. Now for some reason I replaced the entire tape, but I don't know why I did. You do not need to do that, guys. It looks fine how it was. There we go. And let's add up another stack of it. Kind of a block out this time. Amazing. And then let's put planks on here. Awesome. It's a bit dark, but we're going to go ahead and add in some sea lanterns and grab ourselves some birch trapdoors as well. It was a weird design for this one. I kind of did this on the spot, as you guys know. So definitely feel free to change this up if you come up with a better thing to do. That'd be awesome. So over here we're just going to sort out this lights, and we're going to bring the sort of lobby lighting in now, instead of just having these sort of sub lights over here. So we're going to go ahead and add in just like strip lights, separating these with our light grey concrete. And then what we're going to do afterwards is we're just going to chop a sea lantern off on either side, just so we can have like a nice kind of strip in between, if you know what I mean. Okay, and then we'll do like the horizontal sort of the lines going this way instead. Cool. Alright, sea lanterns in the middle for this one as well. Then just fill this in with your light grey concrete. Amazing. And then we're just going to go ahead and mark up every single one, make sure it's all the same dimensions on the roof. So knock off these blocks and just add in your concrete. Amazing. And then we'll just add one onto this one and this one. Epic, that looks really good. Alright, that was a little bit confusing, I apologise for that, guys. So we're going to grab ourselves some white stained glass and stick that in between the lab doors. Then of course iron doors on either side. We've grabbed ourselves some quartz stairs for the little lab workbenches. I did add a lever for the iron doors, but for some reason it wasn't working. So I'm going to go ahead and use some weighted pressure plates instead, because I think this looks pretty cool instead. We're going to do this, put the pressure plates on either side of the door so you can get in and out of the lab as well. Epic! So this part of the tutorial is extremely random, guys. Decorating the lab is literally just a random task. I'm going to go ahead and put a lamp on a little workbench over here. I'm going to switch the glass up for some white stained glass. And then I'm going to just like put some random things around, so redstone related things, end and never related things, just to make it look like they're experimenting with different projects and seeing how things work basically. It's a test room basically, so you can make this however you'd like. You can even put train tracks in here if you want. Minecarts would definitely add a little bit more detail to this place. If you do need some inspiration though, definitely watch this segment of the tutorial. I just put some like redstone repeaters on the workbenches, put some cauldrons down for representing sinks, and hoppers up there for sort of furnace testing areas to see how it responds to heat or whatever. Maybe they're testing the like portal samples or some type of demigorgon sample or something. It's a shady place. It really is a shady place, Hawkins Lab, so we're going to definitely try and replicate that with this little room down here. So lamps on every four corner of the build, and then we'll just stick the glass above them as well. That looks really cool. Amazing. That should be enough light, but if you wanted to add more light in, you could obviously put some, you could even put lava in the floor if you wanted. That would look pretty cool. I don't know if it would just drip down to the bottom floor. More than likely it would, so I'd definitely be careful with that. But if you wanted to add some more lights, maybe just put some sea lanterns in the floor. That would look cool. So here I'm just grabbing some broom stands, cauldrons, and a compost bin. I'm also going to grab myself a compass and a clock, just to put on the walls as well, as maybe some dials. We're going to need some some iron block even as well. Here we go. This is going to be my machine, the generator of the place. So the lab's got its own little generator just in case anything fails outside the building. So we're going to stick some devices that watch stuff, and then I'll come back and add some buttons or something on there afterwards. Alrighty, so that's starting to look really good. Just kind of spreading out all the stuff, making it look not too clustered, but also just enough spread out that it looks like it should. And item frames pretty much everywhere in this build. Scatter these about the place just to make them look like they are almost like little reminders of what they're looking for. I'm going to use iron bars for a sort of generator again, iron block, and of course an iron trapdoor. And I'm also looking for something that I can use to make my own machine. So I'm going to use some soul sand and netherrack, and I'm also going to use some bedrock just to make it look like they are samples from the Upside Down. There we go. Oh yeah, looks really creepy. I think we add a monster spawner on this afterwards as well, because that looks pretty cool. There we go. Let's replace one of those cauldrons with a blast furnace. That looks awesome. So all of this stuff can represent the Upside Down and the Minecraft Upside Down, which is kind of like the Nether. So you could also use this as a Minecraft type Stranger Thingsy build, which is cool. I'm going to grab some like different materials now, just some blocks to put in these item frames. Mostly because I did run out of ideas what to put in these, but I thought it would look cool anyway. just to again look for some samples there. Now it's looking a bit sparse on the right side, so I'm going to go ahead and add in my own machine. For that I'm going to use a monster spawner, a lantern, I'm also going to use a smithing table, a flower pot with maybe like a dead bush in or something like that, and some potions obviously to add in on these beakers, these brewing stands. There we go. So flower pot in that gap, maybe a smithing table and a monster spawner on there. And that looks like a machine. If you put it like an iron bar into the block there, the soul stand block, it looks really, really cool. Looks like it's maybe taken a sample, put it in the machine to read it or whatever. And you can put a little sort of beacon on the front of it as well, just to add a little screen. Oh, it looks really sort of creepy now. Epic. Let's put a winter rose in that plant pot, just to make it look creepy. Well then, for the last finishing touches in this room, because we have a big open space in the middle, I'm going to use a block of coal and some gold for my sort of hazmat tape this time, all the way around the exterior of these sort of lab equipment areas. So basically making a giant rectangle of hazmat tape. There we go, alternating between each one, and you should definitely connect up to the end at the exact same block as you started. Here we go. Oh yeah, nice one. Did connect up and it was nice and symmetrical still. Cool. Alright, let's go ahead and add in ourselves some oak stairs and some oak blocks for tables. Now these are very chubby tables, but they definitely look really cool for this build. So just a big table here with 4 chairs, and then just a two kind of seater table over here, in line with a 4 one. And there we have it, the lab is now completed. So that is the actual Hawkins lab, a lab, basically. Nice. I mean, the whole thing is basically a lab, but that is kind of the main one over here. So here I was just going to add some more details for the lobby area. So I was going to add a computer, just for this sort of receptionist. So a dark oak stair, a painting, and a button of your choice for the mouse. I was trying to get this to go the other way around, but it didn't want to do it, so now it looks like a bell, but that's cool. You could even add a bell as well. That would actually be cool. Like a sort of, it looks like a hotel, I guess. It could look like a hotel. Let's also grab a flower pot with a flower of your guys' choice for the desk as well. I'm going to use my favorite flower in the game. This cool looking azure bluet thingy. I still don't know how to pronounce it. Let's go ahead and build the tank room. So now we're going to take ourselves some smooth quartz again, and we're also going to take ourselves some light grey concrete and make a little corridor on the right if you are coming out of the lobby area. On the right side where there's this big empty space, we're going to use this as the lab room. So kind of build a wall connecting up to the exterior wall of Hawkins, kind of on the corner before it goes round to the hallway. Epic. Now we have a big space what we're going to use for this room. So I'm going to use this area over here, this kind of quadrant of the room, for my actual lab, to keep an eye on the test subjects as they're in the tank room and in the tanks. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some glass quick and put that above the doorway, just like that. Then we're going to go ahead and bring this wall along, all the way along the front now, until we reach about kind of the other end. Let's just go ahead and replicate this exact wall over here. So you may have to just double stack your quartz for a sec. There we go. We're going to double stack it along just 2 blocks, and then we may remove the other one in a second. So I made this really weird wall design for connecting up to the staircases, so that you only have to enter through like one little doorway to get to both stairs. But it's really up to you how you guys do it. You could leave this open if you wanted. I think it looks cool this way, but it is up to you. So over here I'm just going to add in my quartz like that, just above those kind of corners, connect up this hallway to the actual reception area, not the reception, yeah, the reception area and the patients sort of rooms over here. There we go, so add quartz in there as well. Alright, so let's go ahead and add this one entrance in for the doorway, so we're going to need to add in another sort of wall. So this one on the left side goes quartz, then 2 blocks of light grey, and then 3 blocks at the moment of quartz. But we're going to change one of those to light grey just to match up. Then we're going to replace it, make the third one on this side over here, kind of going in. There we go. This bit does get a bit confusing, guys, so if you do need to pause the video constantly, feel free to do so. It's absolutely no problem at all. Alright, so building this light grey wall up to the roof, we can go ahead and add in all the different pillars and things afterwards. That actually doesn't look too bad. That's pretty cool. Let's just extend the lighting now just to the actual lobby area. Now with all these random walls and lights and things, honestly, if you do feel like you cannot keep up with the way I'm building super quick. I'm so sorry, guys. Like I said, I wasn't expecting to make this my tutorial, but I thought it'd be too much trouble, like it would take too long just to go and build this entire thing again, so I thought I'd just do it on the spot. But I didn't realize how quick I actually built. This is really crazy. Actually really hard to put a commentary over the top of this. I'm so sorry, guys. I hope if you are following along, it's going well for you. And if you do have any questions, drop them down below and I'll see if I can help you guys out. Let's go ahead and bring this tape up to this doorway now. Right up to the long here. That looks pretty cool. There we go. Don't worry about, like, you know, not making little sort of a T-junction there for the two corridors either side. It just looks cool if you add in this little cool thing. Not sure what I did there. I think I did it the wrong way around. Should have started on the exact same one as I did the other side. That was my fault. There we go, that looks better. We've got like 3 ways to go now. And then obviously 4th if you want to go back down to the lobby. So over here, let's just add in our massive wall for the tank room. And on this corner, we're just going to go ahead and add in sort of this quartz block on the end. And it's going to kind of chop off that back section of the wall. But it's not going to affect the inside, if that makes sense. So I like this. Going up to the roof. Now these grey concretes, they don't actually have a quartz block above them as of yet. I think I might add it later, but I'm not certain. No, not yet. Okay, that's good. So here, this is where we chop off that back block just there. We don't need that space at the moment. It would be too much trouble just building sort of a diagonal kind of point in the room, so it goes like shorter as it goes in. It's best to just keep this a massive square. The walls in this place definitely take up the most of your time. I think that's probably where World Edit would definitely come in handy. Almost there now though. Almost got the square done. Let's put another light down. There we go. Gosh, it does get dark quickly, this one. There we go. Alright, that's looking really cool. Let's just add another light in quick. So over here, back to the sort of secondary doorway. We're going to build this all the way along to this side. And we're going to add in a window just over here. So a quartz pillar up that side. Same with this one. And just bring it along. Now here's where we're going to add the window. Just kind of in that gap over there in a second. So just leaving a block away from that pillar. And then we're going to go 3, 4, 5. 5 blocks of glass. 3 up. Like so. 1 block away from that pillar. And then all the way along with the rest of your light grey, just to fill this in to make this a nice whole room. That is going to be epic. That is already looking pretty good. So for our actual sort of lab area back here, I'm just going to use a load of random materials again. So mostly iron, smooth quartz stairs, and some oak wood stairs. Oak wood stairs for my lab chairs, and then of course some iron for the little instruments. So maybe on these iron blocks, I'm going to grab some buttons and maybe a lever. So like this. Oh, and a tripwire hook as well, just because that looks pretty cool. So 2 buttons on the top as well, just to finish that off. Kind of looks a little bit like a retro games console, but it looks pretty cool for the actual design once it's done. Now we're going to grab ourselves another sort of generator look over here. So let's do 2. Make these 3 high for 2 blocks each. And then tripwire hooks, levers, buttons everywhere on this thing. Make it look really sort of technological. Iron bars on the bottom, and then iron bars up the side of these, connecting to the roof, or at least a block below the roof, because obviously you want to add your lights in afterwards, just to add a little bit of look of cables. That looks cool. And then iron trapdoors, of course, to finish those off. Wicked. Now, a fun fact, to actually build this room, to give me some inspiration, I looked at the instruments they had in old power plants, and I came across an old picture of Chernobyl when it was actually, you know, fully running and things, and there were some really cool pictures of the inside of their labs, when they were like monitoring the reactor core and things, and the old machinery they had was super cool to look at, so I kind of tried to copy that a little bit with my Minecraft build over here. So if you are noticing some really old looking machines, that is where I got my inspiration. Alright, so let's go ahead and add in the lights, just alternating between our light grey and our sea lanterns all the way along over here. Let's just get rid of those iron bars in a sec as well. There we go. Make sure we get rid of all the ones that are actually connected to the block of coal on the roof. I forgot to mention, but if you guys did want to add a staircase from this room to the roof, where you can like see the little rooms that go down, that should go down into the building, you could do that as well. That is one detail I did forget to add, and I'm kind of gutted I forgot that, because that would have been really cool. So, some slabs for this last shelf over here, and then we'll come back to this room a little bit later on. Amazing, that's starting to look really good. Starting to take shape, which is always good. And yeah, we'll come back to this in a second, just to finish it off. So back inside the actual tank room, we're going to go ahead and start building the tanks. But for that, we're going to need to add in our lights first of all, so we can mark out where these are going to go. So what I did was I went around the exterior of the room with my light grey concrete. And then as I got into the sort of middle sections, I just did like a little circle design. So I started kind of in the middle, just over here, with 4 blocks of sea lanterns, leaving 2 blocks empty on either side. Then 4 blocks like that, and then 4 blocks connected up to make a circle like this. Now a block apart, I did the exact same. They should connect up to the other side, which it does. It's perfect. And there we go. Now we have space for 2 tanks. Now just go ahead and fill these around with light grey concrete. Now don't fill these inside. I did fill these inside, but don't fill them inside. We're going to use ourselves some quartz stairs and some quartz slabs instead. Okay, so let's go ahead and fill this one around as well. And over here as well. Nice one. So here's when I kind of realised maybe we should do the cool pattern inside the roof. Which was a little bit like, oh no. I think that's my only problem with this, with building things, is my mind just tells me to do stuff that my imagination does not want me to do. And then I regret it later. Oops, my bad. So what I did here was just went around the exterior of the sea lanterns, kind of facing the sea lanterns with my upside down stairs. And then slabs in between. Amazing. Now for the actual tanks. These are super fun to build, so definitely stay tuned. We're going to go ahead and grab ourselves an end rod in a second. You're going to need some white stained glass, of course, as well, for the actual like sort of viewing stations in the tanks. So some iron bars, some iron trapdoors. Some of these materials we might not use, but if we do, it's always good to have them anyway. You can always switch about, change up your design a little bit. And of course, the main important one, end rods. Let's grab that now. There they are, wicked. So on each corner, each 4 corners of the stairs, we're going to go down with our end rods. And this is going to represent the kind of starting line for our labs, our tanks. So these go down by about 4 blocks down. So they should be about a block below the floor. Above the floor even. I can't speak. 2 blocks above the floor, that's cool. So then stairs around those lights. So basically they're copying the lights on the ceiling, but on the floor, with your stairs facing the right way round. We might change it up later, but that's fine for now. And then quartz block all the way around those stairs, and connecting up to the end rods on each 4 corners. I did put slabs in those gaps, but I thought it didn't look great, so I did change that in a second. If you guys liked it like that, definitely keep it like that, but yeah, if you want to copy me, make it like this, you know, feel free to destroy those. So quartz blocks on 4 corners like that. Then obviously your slabs in those gaps. Amazing. And then what I'm going to do instead actually is just grab my kind of glass and stick these in the gaps instead. I think the slabs would have been a really cool idea, if I put them in the floor, because I could have put some maybe some like stained glass on there or something. So the glass goes up about 3 blocks high, and then we put slabs over the top with some iron trapdoors in the middle of those. Like that. Oh, the glass goes up 4 blocks high, my bad. There we go. Amazing. That is one tank done, or pretty much done. For around the bottom of the tanks, where there's like this stair block kind of gap, what I did was I just switched up the design a little bit by putting some sort of slabs on the end ones, and then adding in some stairs in between those. So don't add slabs in between the blocks, only add a slab on each kind of corner, because we're going to replace these with stairs going facing each other like that. That definitely adds a little bit more detail to these. Oh, these look super cool. Being such a fanboy of Stranger Things, is super cool seeing one of these in like Minecraft. I actually went and built this. I'm so happy that I did it. It's definitely a crazy task to build, especially with the inside the lab as well, because it's such a big build. Okay, so let's just go ahead and add some water, make this detailed as possible. Quickly put the quickly put the glass on, trapdoor, and slab back over. Amazing. Now we're going to build exactly the same thing over here. Alright, this time no mistakes. Let's go for no mistakes. So quartz block, end rods. We're going to need ourselves some stairs, and of course we've got the rest of the materials in our inventory already. So 4 end rods on either corner, all 4 corners of the stairs. These go down for 4 blocks, like so. Make sure that they're down 4 blocks on each of the corners. They can be a little bit tricky to line up with your character's hand, but that's okay. Get there in the end. So we're going to need to add in this pillars to kind of connect up to the end rods. So double stack your blocks till you reach the end rods, and then put blocks, well, put stairs in front of these blocks, kind of diagonal, like an angle, like that, and then slabs around slabs around the exterior, like that, kind of in line with the quartz there. So then quartz blocks in those gaps just in front of the stairs, and then your 4 stacked up glass blocks over here. Oh yeah, these are looking good. I might need to get out of the tank. Yeah, there we go. Always trap myself in. Then water, then your slabs, and then trapdoors over the top as well. Alrighty. See, that was way quicker to build that tank. That was awesome. These are looking great. When they're together, they look absolutely awesome. Amazing. Now here what we're going to do is just going to add a door frame in. Well, a kind of door look. We're not going to add a door onto this because it's such a big room. It'd just be pointless adding a door on when you can practically see inside anyway, because it's huge and it's super bright in there. So here I realised I didn't actually kind of light up the hallway, so I'm going to need to do that as well. For that, I'm just going to make sure it goes up to the actual hallway, so where the quartz starts. Just add in a couple blocks there. And here I'm going to use myself some stairs and some slabs. Let's grab ourselves some quartz slabs. Apparently I can't find them. There we go. Oh my goodness me. Amateur hour, right guys? Here we go. So slab it all the way along now, until you reach the other end of the corridor. This definitely looks better than the coal. Epic. Now that is looking great. So again, back to the lab area in the tank room. We're going to go ahead and make some more of these machines. And we're going to actually build bigger machines this time. So 4 blocks in length. So they're on an actual monitor. So they go 4 blocks by about 3 high. Epic. And then obviously trapdoors on top. Loads of your gizmos and gadgets on the side of these. So levers, buttons, tripwire hooks, all the shenanigans that you want. Let's go ahead and grab some more dials, so we can use like end rods as the dials like we did in downstairs in part 1 and 2. Put some more kind of seats around just to look at monitoring these. You know, you can imagine there'll be about like 8 people in this one little room just to kind of monitor the machines, make sure they work. Let's make another exact replica of that one over here. Maybe the dials in a different spot this time. Let's do like couple in. There we go. Kind of really random, spread out like that. Epic. And a couple more chairs just in front of these as well. Amazing. Now for those dials, like I said, definitely use yourself an end rod if you wanted. I also recommend using a clock or a compass. I'm going to use a beacon and a nether star as well because they look really cool, just to add a little bit more detail in there as well. So what am I looking for? There we go, clock and compass. Cool. So just spread all these materials out now. Levers also look good for kind of dials because they don't include the cobblestone bit of the lever. So they look really good just as a stick, or even just sticks. You could use sticks. If you've steeped that low, just use sticks, guys. Alrighty, that lab is looking great. Obviously, if you wanted to add some more iron bars as well, they would look cool as well. And then one last birch door for that lab. And then here, like I was saying, for the sort of doorway, we're just going to add on the fourth block up, some glass, then a line of quartz, and then some more glass. Amazing. And now you're into the lab room. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves some more iron bars. For ourselves some more power cables. So these are going to come out the machines, so anywhere you want on the machine, just kind of spread your iron bars going up to the ceiling. Any which way you like. Kind of looks like a worm just coming out of the machine, but that looks really cool. And it fills up these walls so we don't have to keep putting like paintings everywhere and all that random stuff. And with this being an experiment room, you wouldn't imagine there was like a nice picture on the wall. You know, it's not a Hawkins Lab thing to do, to be honest. So there we go, let's just add a couple more over here. There we go, that looks really cool. There you go, nice. More cacti around the place in these kind of little gaps for the foyer area. We'll also do this for the lobby behind me. Add a couple benches in. A 4-long bench I'd recommend for this corridor. Just going in towards the kind of residential area. I was going to add a bench this side, but I thought, nah, we'll just leave it. We will put a bench in here though, a 3-long bench just in the pillars. And then we'll put some cacti on those kind of light grey concretes just there. Another one this side as well. Amazing. And then we'll go ahead and add in ourselves some... I was thinking of grabbing myself a painting, which is obviously good for the Brenner painting that you saw in part 3's kind of little tour. I'd recommend some bookshelves as well. A beacon I was going to grab for the kind of drinking fountains. Glass as well, of course, for the drinking fountains again. And some iron trapdoors, as well as maybe some tripwire hooks. And of course some cups, which will be flower pots in this case. Cool. So over here, I'm going to go ahead and just build bookshelves up to the top. Right up to those sea lanterns at the top. And over here, like so. Then I'm going to go, this is where I was getting a bit confused. I was going to go like on the quartz, or I was going to go on the, the light grey concrete. I was really getting confused myself. So I'm going to do it kind of like on this quartz block over here. Just stick some glass, then a beacon. That looks really cool, like so. So the furthest one away from the actual door is where we're going to put it. Then the tripwire hook on that beacon. Oops, messed up this side. We're going to change up the design, my bad guys. Wow. Dang, I can really see how it's annoying now just to make mistakes. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. So there we go, stick our cups down as well. Then we're going to go ahead and stick ourselves just maybe a little bit more detail for these sort of drinking fountains with like a bin, just represented with a composter. Nice. Then add in the final details. Let's just chain up this wall. I'm not sure why there's a quartz block over there, that's weird. Add in some lights over here with some iron trapdoors. Nice. And then over here as well. Nice. And then we'll grab ourselves some light grey or quartz just to kind of go around these in a weird shape like that. Looks really good. Nice. Not exactly the most professional, but it looks good for that what we need. So yeah, so over here we don't need to actually just have that quartz pillar in there, that quartz line. It looks weird. So there we go. It's quite sparse. So the last finishing details, you can add in another plant pot in that corner, and maybe even another bench if you wanted. I think I add in both, and I also add in another a painting above this thing, this kind of bench over here. Just one block, a 2 stacked painting like that. That looks good. That looks really good. Amazing. And on this side, because it's 3 blocks, you could add a clock as well. Let's go back up and sort out this side, because it's obviously uneven. It looks really weird. So another bench besides this this drinking fountain, or this like water machine, and then one more flower pot over in this corner. Where are you? Where are you, flower pots? There you are. Epic. But yeah, guys, that is the end of the build. Wow, that was insane. My throat is hurting. I am so sorry about the constant mistakes. I hope that you managed to follow along as best as you possibly could. Any questions, please feel free to drop them below. I'm extremely grateful that you guys have wanted to see these builds for ages, and I really appreciate you sticking around for them as well. I know it's taken a while, and I know that these are very long tutorials, so I really do appreciate everything you guys do. You know, all the support is really, really appreciated. You guys have an excellent day. I hope you can go and finish your Hawkins Labs now. Take it easy, stay safe, and I'll see you very, very soon for the next Wheelassassin video, which is going to be Starcourt Mall. Oh yeah. Take it easy, guys, but goodbye for now.